But you said red flags. Like that's all you named one thing. Like, is there what else? What else popped up?
Well, like narcissist, like abuser, like,
What do
bad
you mean by
temper,
abuser? Like he hit you?
like emotionally and just in general,
What is emotional abuse? What does that mean?
and manipulation and abuse, and just, what it means. It's just some people are very well at manipulating.
In what way did he manipulate you?
It's really hard to talk about it. It's just, because it's been very painful, like what I went through and the way he broke up in text. Like after 11 years, we had huge disagreement, and then he just took off and just disappeared, and then just decided to say in text that it's over, and that's all. Like, he did not have guts to even talk and like have face-to-face conversation, because he knew if he would talk to me, then obviously, I mean, I don't know, he wouldn't do it probably.
Okay. Look, I'm not trying to paint you into a corner. Like, I'm just trying to get an understanding. So, like, this is a dating and relationship show. We're trying to get an understanding of, because, like, is your goal ultimately, do you want to get married? Do you want to have
Yeah, of
kids? Like, do you care
course. I
about that
want to
stuff?
get married and have
So
kids,
it's
but
like,
if
yeah.
somebody
So, I
has
mean,
a bad temper,
so,
you can't do that, because like he would snap and like go crazy in a second, like for no reason. Plus, he had like also um like addiction as far as alcohol, but he
When you
would
say snap and go crazy, was he getting physical?
no, like just yelling and like screaming and punching things around.
do you think
And
it's a disservice? Do you think it's a disservice to victims of actual physical domestic abuse that are like hit and punched and shoved and getting black eyes and getting bones broken to use the same terminology of abuse that they use? Or does that not give you any pause?
well, no, I went through different things, but I'm saying I just don't want to disclose it on camera. That's why I call it as it is. It is as it is. And emotional abuse is even worse than physical sometimes. Physical, like you heal. Emotional, you get like permanent wounds in your brain, like you get traumatized, like emotionally by it. It will take you even longer to heal. Like Bruce can heal in 2 weeks. Emotional abuse,
What about men that kill their wives or
well, I'm not
permanently
talking about
disable
those.
and disfigure them? No, but that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, I mean, nobody
Well,
was ever killed by
that's like
somebody saying mean
that's
things.
like for first degree murder or something like that type. That's not abuse. That's
Sure. But
worse.
the point is like physical abuse can go much further than a verbal abuse. I mean, no one's ever broken a bone or been pushed down the stairs or been disabled from the waist down or paralyzed from somebody yelling and shouting, but
No,
that
you
can
can
happen with
yell and shout
physicality.
in different ways, and you can yell and shout and destroy things in different ways too. So there are different ways
So it's
of,
the same thing. So abuse is basically abuse
well,
regardless if it's
abuse is
physical or
abuse.
emotional.
Arguments is arguments. So,
Okay. But there's no difference between physical abuse and emotional abuse, essentially, is what you're saying.
well, there is, but it's still abuse too.
Okay. You said he broke up with you. You didn't break up with him the other way around. Like he broke up with you and he ended it.
It's not like he broke up with me. It was going there. So it was already going there. He just like ripped a band-aid.
Okay. I can tell we're not getting off on the right foot, or we're not necessarily going, down this road. So let's just move on. Alex, I don't know what happened with your camera, but I don't know if you're like using your phone, but if you're not plugged into this or if you're not on like the StreamYard tab, it'll go dark on your end. So I don't know what's going on with that, but while you're trying to figure that out, Anna, you mentioned that you were recently, so you're behind the stage, you said you're still technically legally married, but you are recently separated, and you guys were together for 14 years, married for 7.
Yeah.
So what happened there? Like, what led to the separation? What was the final straw? Like, don't have any kids together. So how did that, work out? How did the relationship not work?
So that was, as you said, the final straw was that we were not having kids together, and, he was not ready. and I wanted to start a family. Plus, the disagreement started from there. And as it is just not a relationship, I'm not gonna tell you, exactly what happened, but then it just didn't work out. And it is painful. And as you were saying, that physical abuse is even, the mental abuse is even worse. You can't even show it, like, it is really hard to get out of it.
How? According to who, first of all, is saying
according
that
to the people
somebody
who go through
yelling
it,
at you?
Probably you don't have the experience, but the people who has, they know it.
I really can't believe what I'm hearing. Like, I can't believe there's people that actually think that somebody yelling and saying some mean things is the equivalent of getting punched in the face.
Suicide,
or that's worse.
People suicide because
men
they just
kill women. Like,
but
guys,
then
dudes kill their wives.
They do, but then there are women killing men too.
But then guess what? In one of those scenarios, a guy killing his wife, that's his choice, or somebody killing themselves, that's their choice.
Because some people are just pushed. They're broken. Their souls are taken. Sometimes it just. I know what I went through, and it just took me 3 years to restart my life at 39, and it's not easy, So I know how emotional abuse and what it can do to people.
But the problem that I have with this idea of emotional abuse is this: nobody can define it. You're all talking around.
That's what it is happening
but you're not defining it. It's all about how I'm still talking. There's no definition around it. It's all about how I feel. And he said some mean things that made me feel bad about myself, but I can't describe it. I can't measure it. It doesn't tangibly exist. I know what a broken arm is. I know what a black eye is, but emotional abuse is one of these buzzwords that get thrown around. And when I ask, can you define that, what that means, what actually happened, nobody wants to tell the truth and nobody wants to actually talk about it. It's like he was emotionally abusive, therefore I ended it. It was like, well, what do you mean? Like, where do we, like, it's a buzzword. And if nobody can define it, then how can we ever pinpoint what words actually mean? Or how can we ever look inward to see why did the relationship fall apart? And how do I avoid from falling into similar patterns in the future? That's the problem I have with the emotional abuse. Is like, nobody can define it. Like, there's no widely agreed on definition. It doesn't have a specific makeup. Physical abuse, somebody punches you, somebody pushes you, somebody hits you, somebody kicks you. All of that stuff is very easily defined, but emotional abuse is not. That's the issue that I have with it.
No, I can explain more. It's like when somebody fucks with your brain to the point where it gets like so, like you have aftermath, like anxiety and depression. You can't explain it, but it's a actual condition. So
how can something be a condition if you can't explain it?
It's like the aftermath after like abuse you get.
But again, these are more buzzwords: aftermath, depression, anxiety. Like, aftermath is just a word of saying something that happens after something else, or the resulting, or what happens as a result of something else. But again, it's more buzzword. A pattern of behavior can mean a billion different things
that somebody's using on somebody to like kind of manipulate them in like different situations.
Manipulate is another buzzword. Like, do you see how we're not saying anything of any substance? This is like, we're not getting to the point because these are all buzzwords.
Know that
so just say it's because you feel a certain way, and just say, I feel bad because somebody talked to me a certain way.
It happened to us. That is what it is. We didn't feel it. It happened. And, probably we are not willing to tell you each and
what it is
on live television, like, live broadcast.
But you can't even define what it is. You just keep saying something happened to me, but you can't even define it.
Yeah,
so how,
because it was my life and I can't explain it to you on live broadcast. That's what it is.
Okay. Well, we'll move on then.
The point that Moth is really trying to get to is,
I don't think it matters what my point is, but you can go ahead.
If the aftermath is something like tangible, like if you're saying it's depression or anxiety, if it was something like that, a doctor said that you are like diagnosed, you could be diagnosed with something.
I don't even believe depression exists.
Then that makes sense.
We can go on.
Like,
I don't even believe depression is a real thing.
That would still be even that, saying that would be more tangible than just saying that they were like, that just saying on their own that they were depressed, because there are plenty of people out there who throw stuff on the internet saying that they were abused, manipulated, depressed, that they're depressed now, that they have anxiety, and there's nothing really to back up like what exactly they went through. And so them just making this call on the internet and saying that it's at the same level as someone who's physically abused and has actual physical wounds that we can see.
Let's try
to heal.
Go ahead.
But aftermath of emotional,
sometimes they don't. I mean, sometimes they don't. But like, so why are you to say so? Emotional wounds can't heal, only physical ones. Is that what you're saying?
No, they can, but I'm saying it takes longer because you went through trauma, like you traumatized by somebody's behavior, reckless behavior. And of course, now you learn your lessons, but when you're going through that, you're just in that toxic cycle because you think it's just because they just keep you in that loop.
All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.